Yes, family. So, did you see or have you watched the clash between Kwaku Baako and Kwasi Pratt Jr. today on Good Morning TV and Metro TV? It was interesting, but there is a lot to also learn from their arguments. So that is what I want us to discuss today. On this channel we discuss trending issues as well as educating ourselves at the same time. Okay, so this whole argument was about Ibrahim TRAORE. Kwaku Baako did not understand the reason why Ghanaian youth or during Mahama's inauguration, the guests there were cheering Ibrahim TRAORE as though he's a hero. Now to him, Kwaku Baako ni dear, Ibrahim TRAORE is a military ruler. So we shouldn't be cheering him as though now he believes in constitutional rule. He believes in democracy. He doesn't believe in coup d'etat. And he doesn't believe in military rulers. He's calm about such people. And Kwasi Pratt said, wait. You cannot talk about Ibrahim TRAORE the way you are doing. This is a man who has achieved a lot. And what he's doing in his country, the whole of Africa have seen it. That is why we are proud of him. And that is why he deserves all those cheers and all those accolades during Mahama's inauguration. So I disagree with you on speaking or making such comments about Ibrahim TRAORE. Yes, so this is the basis for the argument. Okay, the argument was military rule versus democracy. Kwasi Pratt believes in military rule. Kwaku Baako believes in democracy and doesn't believe in military rule or coup d'etat. And before we move to the arguments, I want us to have this basis or have this understanding. When it comes to coup d'etat, okay, it has been painted as evil or black. Certain coup d'etats are not good or were not helpful. It all depends on who is behind the coup d'etat. Because mind you, these Westerners or these white people, our colonial masters, usually and the American CIAs usually are also behind certain coup d'etats. They uproot certain government administrations and install their own people to work for them. Those coup d'etats are not beneficial or are good because usually the people or the military ruler who is installed is not what the people want. There is also another type of coup d'etat, which in this case, that is the type of coup Ibrahim TRAORE took. He is a young military man who realized that no, the current government, and the current government was also a military government, mind you. The government Ibrahim TRAORE overthrown was also a military government, but he was not working in favor of the people. He was working in favor of his masters or the France. So Ibrahim TRAORE realized that no, this is not good because this security in these jihads and this insecurity in certain parts of Burkina Faso has taken a toll on the country. People are being displaced, poverty here and there, and so something has to be done. Coupled with poverty and some challenges the country, corruption and challenges the country is facing. So he came to uproot the military government and he now became the one in charge, which is Ibrahim TRAORE. So TRAORE's coup is not the evil type of coup. This is what I want us to establish before we move on to the argument. So with this argument, people in the comment section or Ghanaians in the comment section did not take it lightly at all. Some were in favor of Kwasi Pratt Jr. and some were also in favor of Kwaku Baako. Yes, so those in favor of Kwaku Baako were like, yes, they love democracy. Democracy is the best because, in fact, no system is the same or no system is perfect. So let's not expect that democracy, so everything is going to be perfect. Others were also arguing that democracy is what has brought us freedom of speech. That is the reason why even the program Good Morning Ghana is even holding. So they also support the democratic system of government. Yes, let's come to the other group. Those who disagreed with Kwaku Baako and were like, we love military rule. I think military rule is what Africa or Ghana needs right now. They also made a lot of reasons why they support Ibrahim TRAORE's military style of government. Yes, and they ask questions like, who invented multi-party democracy? What has it done for Ghana? The people who were cheering Traore, the people who were clapping for him and giving him fans, they were admiring the achievements of the young ruler within a short space of time. As compared to some of these corrupt constitutional presidents. Some were also saying that whether democracy or whether military or what the citizen wants is good leadership against neoliberalism. And that is, and they see that achievement in Traore. That is why they are cheering him and they are proud of him. Some were also saying that Traore is an example of what Africa lacks. And what are some of the things African leaders lack, right? They lack courage to stand against the West. They lack self-dependence. They are not thinking self-dependence. All they are thinking is borrowing. They are not thinking of how we can be independent, truly economically independent. Okay? And then others were also arguing that who wants a democratic what? State? Who wants a democratic state like Ghana? Where $58 million was used to dig a hole, National Cathedral. On the other hand, Traore, the military ruler that you, Kwaku Baako, you are calling a cowboy, used just $12 million, just only $12 million to build a tomato processing factory where his youth will get jobs, will improve the country's GDP and all that. Now tell me, they were asking, who needs this kind of democracy? Others were also saying that people fought for those times. They didn't know that democracy was this evil. People fought for democracy hoping it would deliver freedom and development. But no. Liberal democracy has rather subjected Africa to underdevelopment, poverty, and hunger. And they continue to argue that what Africa really needs now is progressive and revolutionary military government that serves the aspiration of the people. In fact, I think those who were in support of the Traore's kind of military rulership had very, very strong points. Some also said that the coup in IES was very, very good. And nobody should dare speak against that coup attempt. Why? Because he has proved it. He has uprooted all the US military bases. He has boosted agriculture, which is a gift from God to them. Look at our arable lands. These are lands that the West, they don't have, they wish to have, they don't have. In my own house here, any seed you put in the ground, give it 1 week, it will sprout, it will come out. What a fertile land. Ibrahim TRAORE is able to boost agriculture. And there has also been the return to traditional cultural practices. So to them, Ibrahim Traore's style of military rule is the best, and in fact that is what we need in Ghana. I want you to also watch the video by yourself and let me know which side you support in the comment section. Thank you all very much and God bless you. We'll meet another time. Peace out.
Yesterday at the Black Star Square or Independence Square, whatever you call it. Okay. What was it? The head of state who had the largest applause, the most emphatic display of public enthusiasm. Who was that?
Was a 36-year-old.
Ibrahim TRAORE.
He was the Western Cowboy.
Yes, Ibrahim TRAORE. Clearly. No, I mean,
not that.
That should say something. You understand?
Kwasi Pratt.
No, but that should say something.
Something
In fact, the Speaker of Parliament,
a cowboy.
the Speaker of Parliament,
call him cowboy, call him whatever. The endorsement, the public endorsement, as far as you can.
He had the loudest applause.
The loudest applause, the loudest enthusiasm.
Okay.
And so,
I've seen it all before.
I
am very cynical and skeptical about these characters.
Okay.
We've seen it all before.
Okay.
You've seen more than
no problem, no problem.
So, please.
But for the moment yesterday,
He was a man.
all the so-called democratically leaders and so on did not get the kind of endorsement that Ibrahim TRAORE got at Independence Square. And that's a
I'm
statement.
struggling to get the logic of your point. What is it? That the Ghanaian community,
No, not just the Ghanaian community.
No, we're a majority there. The people clapping. Majority obviously were Ghanaian citizens.
Okay.
What were they endorsing?
What they were endorsing? They were endorsing a struggle against neocolonialism. They were endorsing a struggle for African people to take hold of their resources and to exploit it for their own benefit. They were endorsing a regime which is saying no to foreign military bases on African soil and so on. Those were the things they were endorsing. Now, democracy, I'm saying that democracy must yield something that the people want.
Right.
Because democracy in our lifetime and throughout the world on many occasions has yielded things that are against the interests of the people. Clearly, so-called democracy. And in any case, if you come to test for ingredients in this so-called democracy, you find it lacking in many of the countries in West Africa.
We fought for this.
Exactly.
Why did we fight to restore constitutional normalcy and multi-party democracy? Why did we do that? We put our lives on the line.
Yes.
Some died, actually.
Yes.
Some died.
Many died.
Yes.
But
So why did we do that?
No, Kwaku. We did that in expectation of certain results. We did that believing that it will yield dividends to the population.
I'm sure.
Now, if 30 years later we do an examination and find that what we struggle for is not yielding the dividends we want, are we not entitled to change our minds?
How do you do the change? Because I know you will
I don't have a gun. I'm not a trader.
Did you see that?
You know, yes. I cannot organize a coup d'etat and so on. I cannot.
But I know you will not endorse or prescribe coup d'etat.
Under certain circumstances, I will.
In this constitutional
look, for example.
The only time I would endorse coup d'etat is the counter coup d'etat, as Nkrumah himself said.
No, Kwaku, let me give you another example. If we go to the elections and we elect a government of our choice, and the previous government refuses to hand over, that will be justification for a coup d'etat. When the avenues for legitimate expression of the people is closed, you open the floodgates for coup d'etat.
This is a hypothesis I would not want to interrogate.
Why?
Because it wouldn't happen. And our history has vindicated that point. We've had about 8 or 9 transitions with all its challenges. And many of those transitions, that's why I made a point that even 2 election petitions came on board. We have found a way of deepening the democratic consolidation exercise. We should not contemplate, and because your scenario wouldn't happen, I tell you, no Ghanaian.
We cannot have a Bukasa as head of state in Ghana.
It's not going to happen.
How do you come to that conclusion?
That's why I said I won't interrogate.
We could have a Bukasa in Ghana anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime we could have a
You are
Bokassa.
underestimating what our historical experience. I think you are. Look, we have created a critical mass of a commitment against military adventurism and for the upgrade again of constitutional democracy. Look, it's not a perfect system. No way. I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking of a certain journey that we have taken, including with your support. With your effort, your participation. And here you give me a scenario, a hypothesis of a Bokassa at this stage in our history. It won't happen, my brother.
I'm surprised that you've come to a conclusion that it won't happen. Because I'm looking at elections in Ghana since 1991. And I'm looking at some of the candidates, some of the people who qualified to be on the ballot.
That's
their views,
the people
their
decided,
and so on.
It's their right to be there if they qualify in terms
one day, some of those people are going to emerge as victorious in our election.
If true,
and you know that what I'm saying.
If true, fair, and free means yes.
The person is elected. After he's elected, he says, "Hey, to hell with your constitution."
He can't do that.
It has happened in history again. We are talking about history, Kwaku. Why? Adolf Hitler. Was he not democratically elected? Look at what he put the world through.
Kwasi, again you've gone to...
So I'm saying that when we have a situation and a Bokassa emerges and Adolf Hitler emerges, it becomes legitimate and proper.
I'm sure you are saying...
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. See, you know what? This argument, if you are not careful, could be reversed to justify the 66 coup. If you are not careful with this logic, it could be reversed.
In 1966, we didn't have a Bokassa in power. So we cannot reverse this argument to justify the 1966.
I'm talking...
And again, on hindsight,
you know my position.
I know.
I'm talking of
on hindsight
who assumed that what we had was a Bokassa.
No.
They thought we had a live president when Nkrumah was never declared formally a live president.
Agreed.
But they thought we had, not that they thought, they saw a one-party state. The fact, again, and I'm being very honest, the 66 was completely unjustified. It was a foreign teleguided adventure. So that is not an issue we are going to even debate here. But the 65 elections, you could also call it selection. 1965, the second parliament of the First Republic. You could say so, because it was only the party, the Central Committee, that did the selection of the members of parliament, and then they were declared unopposed and came to parliament, the second parliament. And there are people who see those things as why they should justify the 1966 coup, because they look at just those things. I don't. I disagree, especially when you realize that it was foreign teleguided.
But you see,
and financed. Yeah, so we have to be very careful.
There's no way that the 1966, I'm not saying that you are justifying it, but there's no way that the 1966 coup can be justified based on the evidence available to us now. We have the evidence.
Even then.
No. The evidence suggests very clearly that the 1966 coup had nothing to do with the emergence of a Bokassa. The 1966 coup came about only because Western interest was affected by the government then.
But they were plotting the coup.
Yes.
The CIA, the British intelligence, and the government.
But it was not to entrench democracy. It was not to overthrow a dictatorship. It was to protect Western
I'm
interest.
saying they will say so. They
cannot today. They cannot, because we have, for example, and I'm sure you know that, you have read it, the cable which was dispatched to the British Foreign Office by the British ambassador in Ghana at the time, in 1961. I'm talking about, what was his name? Pardon?
Is it Mahoney?
No, not Mahoney, the British High Commissioner here. Oh, I just forgot the name.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. In which he said that Nkrumah had to be gotten rid of because he was making the African too politically conscious.
That's all true.
Clear.
But I'm talking of those who were internal to the whole situation and who jubilated and celebrated the coup. Just listen to them.
Snelling. Actually, the British High Commissioner then was Snelling.
Yes.
Snelling sent that cable to the Foreign Office, justifying the overthrow. This is 1961, September 1961. Okay. So they cannot turn around today and tell us that because Bokassa was emerging in Nkrumah and so on. It is not.
Look, even the first
the declassified documents of the CIA, and so it's clear why they conspired.
In 1958, we were multiple.
I had the privilege.
But there was a coup attempt.
I had the privilege, of interviewing AK the coup before he died. And Randy, I'm sure you've seen that
on hot issues.
Yes, you've seen that interview.
Hot issues
in
on
which he admits that as far as he was concerned, Nkrumah was the best leader that Ghana ever had.
He was part of the conspiracy.
I know. And he explains how he got into the conspiracy through threats, blackmail, and so on.
I don't believe that. What I know and what I have, he was a conscious participant in the conspiracy. That coup, the main guy was Halley. He was the main guy. The police, JWK Halley was the main guy the Americans influenced. He brought in Kotoka, Afifa, they coup them all.
But what about Kwasi?
Kwasi, 37.
37?
Yes.
Kwasi, the guy at 37.
But he was packed, he was thick, deep, neck deep in the conspiracy. I know about it. 37 was one of the areas.
That was where they met, that was where they plotted. And
I was on admission there.
Yes.
Yeah, I was on admission on that day, and there was a security guy. I didn't know he was a security guy, let me be honest. The old man used to visit him sometimes very late. Sorry for that digression. Very late, he goes to sit with him. We were only two in the special ward.
Okay.
But the day of the coup, this man was so agitated. When even guns had not begun to boom, he goes out, he comes in, he goes out, he comes in. There was something wrong. It was the first day I realized that he had something like a Motorola. So I realized that then this man may be a very important person. By 7-8
AM or PM?
AM. No, by then the booms were going on. You could hear from Flagstaff House. This man decided to cut, remove the louvers in the ward and then cut the net, jumping out. Within 5 minutes, there were soldiers there. They knew he was there. Apparently, he was not ill. He was on duty. But they killed him.
They found him.
Yeah, they found him and shot him dead. It's when my father came from jail 3 years later that